Hello, you're sick of being heartbroken? Me too. And if you're sick of that, don't fight it, but change it. That's my message for today, and I'm going to explain that and how I believe it works. Okay, it's based on my personal story and much more than that, but at least on my personal story. So if you fight against your emotions of I'm sick of being heartbroken, I don't want that anymore, you're still putting a lot of emotions, focusing on that, and what you focus on develops, and putting on some emotions, even negative, but emotions on this aspect. And our emotions just compound the effect of what we are focusing on. So if you don't want that, you have just to let it go, forget it. Don't put some value on that anymore because you know I mean the reason why you can do that is because you know that it's just based in your story in your mind. And even if you can feel negative emotions, um, they are just based on our stories that we made up for maybe for years, that we need one particular person to be to feel loved, to feel connected, and so on. And that's it. So everything is there. When we realize that, we know that, we can know that it has nothing, our difficult feelings of being heartbroken uh, doesn't come from the real um, the real story in a way of what is happening with this girl or this boy. All that just was just like um, the problem was already there, first of all. Then we found a more or less solution with this person that make us feel better, feel some love. But it was very, very conditional. We needed this person to act a certain way, to be in love with us also, and it was very, very tiny, uh, way possibility to feel love. And all that is just based on our stories, and those stories were there before this person. So what happens now is just, the reversed, the opposite. You have a coin, you have two face, and that's just the other face. It was bound to happen anyway, because we had this story that love was so conditional. So you can't dismiss everything that you feel by knowing that it's just based on a false story in your mind and on limits we have self-imposed on ourselves. Okay, so what do you do next? And that's what I'm doing today. And from today, I'm very focused on that more than ever. I'm focusing on what I want. What is the reality too? The reality is that there are a lot of people in the world, and a lot of people would love to be with you. A lot of people would love to would love you. A lot of people. For me, I'm a boy, so I'm looking for a girl, and I say, okay. But basically, what I say to myself is, there are a lot of lovely girls, not any girl, lovely girls who love me in the world. There are a lot, and not just in the world, but around me. There are a lot of lovely girls who love me. There are a lot of lovely girls who want to be with me, to be in my arms. There are a lot of lovely girls who want to go out with me, to have sex with me. And all that is just there to remind me that there is exactly everything I want, just around me, just around the corner, okay? But I have to focus my mind on this part of the reality because as long as we are focused on being heartbroken, it involves that our stories are true, that love is very conditional, very difficult to find, and very specific, and to one person in particular. Okay, um, so that's why I really suggest we just dismiss those feelings and just focus on these thoughts. So you can imagine that. You can imagine you're with a girl if you're looking for a girl or a boy. You can imagine there are a lot of people around you that loves you. You can imagine that you love people because you know it. As I said in my previous video, um, you have to open the door so that you feel connected, connect to others, and others will connect with you. You have to open the door. That's just one door for the way. The way is in both ways, but you have to open the door. That's just one door. If you open it, the door is open for both sides. So first, connect to others. First, give love to others. Imagine that, think of that, focus on that, and the door is opened. And then you can realize there are also this reality that there are a lot of people around you that loves you, that gives you everything you want. So you can imagine it, you can try to feel it, like a story. Okay, imagine it's when you want, if you want to visualize in order to focus your mind, that's very effective. Okay, I suggest you imagine, don't imagine in the future, imagine that's happening, that's what you want your mind to focus on, not to focus on something that will happen one day, but to something that is happening right now. Okay, so you focus on what you want, and for that, if you want to visualize, in order not to in a way think, oh yeah, but I'm trying to trick myself in thinking that this situation is happening, but I know that's not the reality. You just have to say, okay, what is what can I imagine that is the best situation for me now? I just want to imagine it. I don't want to try to convince myself it's reality of anything at all. It's not that. Just focus your mind on the best scenario you want, and don't hesitate to see big. Okay? It's just imagine. Let your just look at what you want. Imagine what you would like. Okay? And the more you focus on your brain, your mind, on what you want, the more it's going to uh, relate to everything that's around you in your life. It's going to notice everything that is coherent with what you imagined, because it's just focus on that, and it's just in a way that if you're looking over there, your brain is just going to notice everything that goes in this way. It's just the direction you gave to your mind, and it's very effective. And our brain is very subjective. It just notices what is in a way ordered to notice. Okay, so instead of focusing on your negative emotions, focus on what you want, and basically you're going to develop that. What I'm doing personally, I really enjoy visualizing, but sometimes it's more difficult. I don't know why. So I just focus on words, and I say to myself, as I said earlier, there are lovely girls who want to be with me. There are lovely girls a lot of lovely girls who loves me. There are a lot of lovely girls who want to go out with me, to have sex with me, and I repeat that to myself as much as possible. Uh, Again, I try not to convince myself that it's true, but I know this is true in a way, because there are a lot of people, and in the world there is everything we want and everything we don't want. The world is so rich, it's obvious. I just want to focus on this part. That's it, to make my brain focus on this part, and I know that it's real. And even though I can feel like, no, I'm not sure, not now, I don't really deserve it, or things like that, I know those are just emotions. I used to do that actually, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video I based that on my personal experience. When I was doing judo, I was doing competition, and I managed to win several fights that I was objectively not bound to win, just because of this this how to say that, this control of my mind, this obsession with what I want. And that's what you learn when you do competition, more or less. And I had very good teachers at the very beginning, and they always told me, competition, it's 70% at least in your mind. It's not your technique, your strength, whatever. It's first is in your mind. Okay, then everything else. And so I've always learned this way, and I've been able to, I said, to win some fights, and was clearly not bound to win, because the person in front of me was better than me. Because I just, one time I just fought a person 2 times in the same day, in the same hour, and the person was clearly better than me. And the second fight, I decided that my mind will make the difference if I was just focused on that and only that. And that's exactly the same kind of things that I did. I focused my mind for maybe 20 minutes before the fight to focus only on that. I don't want any objective idea of what is this fight. I just focus my mind on I'm the best, I win. And that's it. And I kept that idea all time during the fight, you know, until I win this fight, even though the person was better than me. So that really changes a lot of things. That changes everything. The mind controls everything. So if you focus your mind all day long on there are lovely girls or lovely boys that love me and so on, whether you say it to yourself, whether you imagine it, as long as you focus your mind on that, your brain is only going to develop that. And there are we don't even know how it's possible. We don't even know if the means. We're not there to know the means. The means are going to come to ourselves. We're going to see a possibility, and this is it. And we're going to do what we want to do. Okay. We just have to focus on that. There are countless ways that things can happen, uh, like that, very very quickly, for no reasons. At least it seems to have no reasons. You have done nothing, but you know what you want, and this is enough. Okay, so that's my message for today. If you're bored of being heartbroken, let those illusions, let them be. There are just emotions. You can live with these emotions. What is extremely difficult is when you believe in the stories behind that. That's hell when you believe them. When you know there are just illusions and stories. I know that comes back, it's not necessarily easy, but it's just emotions. Dismiss them and focus on what you want. You have the control over that, and that changes everything. Focus on that again and again. The more you focus on that, the more you focus on what you want, the more things are going to change. That can change very quickly as long as you're undetermined. Okay? So have a great life. Enjoy your life, and make sure you know that there are a lot of people that love you around you, just around the corner. So go find them. Make sure you know that. Have a great life. Bye bye.